You are about to meet a young girl suffering from fibromyalgia, one of the most painful of medical conditions. Every muscle in the body is in constant pain, as well as the patient suffers continually from severe headaches, nausea, and chronic fatigue. It is unusual for fibromyalgia to attack a teenager, and there is no known treatment.
I was just in so much pain that getting up out of bed was difficult, and my headaches had gotten so bad that my senses were heightened, and I had to wear sunglasses and earplugs to school to get through the classes without feeling like I had to stand outside because I was in so much pain.
I kept saying to the doctors, I don't think she's going to make it. And they kept telling me that I was crazy and that there was nothing wrong with her and that she was fine and that it was all in her head and she was making it up. But I knew that wasn't the truth, and I knew I had to fight for her.
I was in so much pain, and that I was always nauseous and always throwing up. And they sort of decided that I must be making it up for attention, or because I wanted the medications and I hated taking the medications. I didn't want to take any of it. And it was so frustrating for me to be in all this pain and really not feeling well. And having someone tell me that it's all in my head and that it's not really real. It's a really hard thing to hear someone say that when you know. And you know how much pain you're in, and you know how hard it is for you, and it's like, how can you tell me what I'm feeling? Because you're not inside my body, and it was really hard to deal with.
As a mother, it's really horrible to watch your daughter in that kind of pain and know that there's really nothing that you can do for her, and to know that there's nothing that the doctors can do to make her better except for give her a lot of narcotics that just made her sicker. The more narcotics they gave her, the more sick she'd get, the more she started to lose the ability to use her arms and her legs. Her legs would just go out from underneath her. She'd just drop things. It was ruining her life.
Even though they were telling me that it was all in my head, I went and saw 3 different psychiatrists, and they all told me that it wasn't, I obviously was mentally healthy and it wasn't in my head, and they said that I acted like a regular, normal teenage person, and they actually expected me to be more depressed and have less hope than I did for someone my age, going through so much and being so sick. After the therapists and psychologists gave me a clear bill of health mentally, and we gave their assessments to the doctors still were deciding that it was all in my head.
For me, there was never a point where I believed that she wasn't sick, because I could see it in her eyes.
I never actually thought of killing myself. I wondered, what's the point of being here, because I was really sick, and my parents were always really frustrated because there was no one was having a cure or a definitive response, and so they were always frustrated. And I know they weren't angry with me, but sometimes I felt that way, and it felt like it was all my fault.
And being, a psychotherapist, I know when someone is depressed, and I know when they're anxious, and I know when something's wrong mentally. And there was nothing wrong with her mentally. We took her to 3 psychiatrists, and they all said there was nothing wrong with her.
My mom was my best support in being sick, because she never really believed that what the doctor said, and she was always there with me for every doctor's appointment and everything I had to go through. And she kept looking and trying to find other options and other things that could make me healthy, when I had sort of just decided that it was time to learn to live with it, and that I sort of gave up on there being any other option or any other kind of cure.
I had told everyone that we knew what was going on with Taylor in hopes that somebody would have an answer for us. We lived 2 hours from where we got the treatment. And we were driving back, and it was about a half an hour, 45 minutes on our way home. And all of a sudden, Taylor's like, "Mom, Dad, you got to look at me. This is amazing." And we turned around, and she said, "Look, the dark circles under my eyes, they're completely gone."
I started to feel less nauseous. I wasn't dizzy, and my headaches were sort of going away.
And she said, "I'm already feeling so much better," because the other thing is Taylor had constant nausea to the point where she threw up all the time. She was constantly throwing up, and she was able to put the bowl down that she took everywhere with her, and she's like, "I don't need my bowl anymore." And she was so cute, she threw it on the floor. And she was like, "I can't believe how great I feel." And she said, "I have so much energy." She's like, "I feel like I could, run a marathon."
Within 45 minutes, had looked in a mirror and my dark circles were gone. I wasn't so pale. I had like red in my cheeks.
I was so excited. I was like, can this really be true? And I just couldn't believe that she could feel better that fast. I got my daughter back. I mean, she's healthy, she's happy, she's back to her normal weight. She almost never has headaches, and if now she has a headache, she can take Tylenol and she's fine. The fibromyalgia is completely gone. Her body's never in pain anymore. She's back to the way she was before she got sick.
Today, I have no nausea. I don't have headaches anymore. I'm not on any medications anymore, and I had bags full of prescriptions, and I had a whole nightstand full of bottles and pills, and you'd come to my room and you'd think I lived in a pharmacy, and now I don't have any of that, and I don't have to take anything. And today I feel like you would never know I was sick. You would never know I went through any sort of ordeal. You'd think that I was just a normal girl who was starting college late. You would never know that it was because I was really sick. I'm just ready to be happy and healthy and have a really good life from now on. So that's what I'm ready to do.